So we were talking about turtles, and then Karl Lagerfeld came to mind, and then Anna Wintour came to mind, and then Vogue came to mind, and then Vogue decided all of a sudden to pay tribute to Karl, and then they decided to add a lot of other designers and invite them to make clothes dedicated to Karl, and I thought to myself, what a turtle endeavor! Cowabunga! For the Ninja Turtle fans out there. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob all spelled together for extra perks. I live stream every Saturday, and this video is being filmed live. Okay, in front of a live virtual audience. I got my peeps watching here. So let's check this out, y'all. Vogue basically said, hey, to a couple of designers out there, and Vogue said, hey, what say you, because the Met Gala this year is dedicated to Karl Lagerfeld in his honor, his tribute. Yes, of course, there's people who are going to say he was a terrible person. Why dedicate anything to him? Okay, whatever. I don't care about that stuff. I just care about the clothes. For now, for this video, we can throw shade at Karl for other reasons in other videos. But this is about the clothes that other designers made for him. Now, interesting, because it all felt to me like all of these designers that were asked to pay tribute to Karl actually did not pay tribute to Karl. No. They were clever and sneaky. What it felt like to me, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, just speculation, not rooted in truths or facts, everything's alleged. But what it felt like to me, in my personal opinion, is that all of these designers were actually auditioning to become designers at Chanel. Oh, yes. Because, I mean, let's call a spade, and let's call a choupette, okay? But let's see what they were at. That's the plot twist. Let me show you. Designers auditioning for Chanel to kick out Virginie Viard. Are we? Is this a conspiracy that's been brewing amongst Vogue and, you know, the Illuminati at Vogue? Anna Wintour? Is Anna Wintour trying to get rid of Virginie Viard by, like, trying to show to Bruno Pavlovsky and the Wertheimers, hey, hint, hint, look, this is a lineup of designers that I, Anna Wintour, would think would be good at the helm of Chanel, allegedly. I'm just speculating here, obviously, because I am crazy that way. Emotion Engine says, OMG, I never even thought of that. Blue Bannister says, I mean, let's be real. Virginie's not going to be there long. Cha the shade. It's brilliant, really, says Gloria Rathinos. Kev says, Anna did not care for Virginie at all. So, this is my conspiracy theory, my speculation, that these designers were pre-selected, like, here, drop a little visit card to the higher-ups at Chanel. Show them what you got, honey. Show them what you got. And show they did. Show they did. And one particular designer stood out as particularly shady. And I am here for that one. Let's see if you guess which one was my favorite, especially because of the shade. But let's see together. Miss Jelly's like, show me your resume, honey. Honey. Yeah, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yes. This is like the plot of The Devil Wears Prada, says Emotion Engine. Virginie VR joined the chats. Let's see the audition. Okay. Oh, Jesus says Virginie's work is quite anti-Karl, to be honest. Hit it. All right. I took screenshots from the Vogue video depicting all of these creations, so it falls under fair use. I have my iPad with, yes, of course I do. But I took screenshots from the video on Vogue. On Vogue's YouTube channel, okay? So these are screenshots from that video, and we are reviewing them. So it falls under fair use, okay? Okay. Now, the creations, and don't you just love the fact, how shady is this, that the creators that are designing the inspiration, you know, tribute to Carl. I love that it's the derriere. It's like the back of a model. It's like, so it's either Chitose Abe or Chitose Abe. I don't know how to pronounce the name. From Sacai, Christopher John Rogers, Donatella Versace, John Galliano for Maison Margiela, Jun Takahashi or Yun Takahashi, Undercover, Olivier Rousteing, Balmain, Pierpaolo Piccioli, Valentino, Simone Rocha, and Thom Browne, darling. We're going to see one piece per designer. Well, let's start. Let's see how the auditions went as new creative artistic director at Chanel. You guys, let me know in the comment section down below who you think would win this audition. I have my favorite, but I'm going to keep that one until the end. All right. So the first look we got is Thom Browne. So, of course, they showed all the final outfits at the Palais Royal, where Karl Lagerfeld had his most historic Chanel fashion shows happening. And they are kind of reconstructing or resetting the Palais Royal for whatever reason. And so it's kind of all like these workers, like it's kind of, you know, Vogue thought it was like really cool. It's like, really? We've been doing this industrial chic like since how many decades now? Seriously? Okay. Since how many decades have we been doing this, you know, this Jürgen Teller type of chic, whatever. Anyway, it always seems to work for Vogue. So Thom Browne did an oversized collar, you know, and in tweed. So Thom Browne is like, hey, Chanel, I can do tweed. And hey, Chanel, I can do structure. You know, the oversized Karl Lagerfeld collar, but make it Chanel. This also is Karl Lagerfeld-esque, but very, very, very pompous, done in a way to almost render it comedic in a way. Virginie Viard says, too much fabric, not enough bib. Yes, that is kind of true, Virginie. There's no bib here. There's no bib. Oh, sound is breaking? Anybody else? Sound breaking? No? Okay. Groundbreaking. All right. Next one. So, like I said, this one is maybe Karl-esque, less Chanel-esque, but still uses Chanel materials, right? So, the tie is very Karl. Let's check out the next creation. The next creation, tribute to Karl Lagerfeld, was done by Simone Rocha, or Simone, or Simone. Pardon my French. So here, well, there's nothing screams more Chanel than pearls. And this, interesting, because this model in particular actually modeled a Chanel wedding gown many, many years ago. So it's interesting that we have this kind of calling back to a wedding dress design, quite Chanel-esque, actually, if you think about it. Kev says, Devon looks gorgeous, as always, as she always does. But, so, it's very coquette, very boudoir. It's very late 90s Chanel. Is there an evolution here? Do I see the future of Chanel here? Is this a good piece with which, is this a good garment for the designer to actually try to get a job at Chanel as creative director? You be the judge. Yes, but no says very forgettable. SG says Madonna. More Lacroix than Chanel maybe, says Kev. No, okay. Yeah, I can see that, except the corset isn't as cinched as it would be for Lacroix. You know, Lacroix would have a little bit more details going on in the entire embroidered part of the bodice. Johnny says, no pas du tout. Gloria says, true, not for a job interview. Tina says, flappa. Nettie says, I see Madonna too. Zane says, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Monarch says, just okay. Just okay. Well, anyway, so people are not really very convinced, okay? So, Simone, I think maybe you're not going to get the job. Sorry. Our people will call your people, though, okay? Okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie. Let's see the next one. Now, the next one is Jun Takahashi for Undercover. Now, honey, if that little jacket does not scream Chanel, I don't know what does. The headgear is giving me very Asian designer vibes in general. It's very 80s. It could be 80s Japanese vibes. It's even giving me in some ways Yohji Yamamoto vibes. But the jacket is Chanel. That tweed jacket is Chanel. The pants and that oversized tweed also, they're screaming Chanel. But if I'm completely honest, minus the headgear, this one is giving me more Virginie Viard than it's giving me Karl Lagerfeld. You see what I'm saying? Virginie Viard is commenting, escape maybe? Never Chanel. Oh, Virginie. And I just said it's giving me more Virginie than Karl. Virginie's like, oh, girl. Yeah. Yep. Yes, the outfit is Chanel, jacket and pants is SG. Blue Bannister says, I agree, D. Yeah. Foudedon says, I like it. Jesus says, it's okay. Undercover indeed, says Gloria Athena's. Yeah, Undercover, of course, the brand. Zane says, too much on the nose. Possibly. But I see some people are liking it. Some people are not liking it too much. Nettie says it's a black and white dandelion. Oh my God, that's so cute. You blow and it's all over the place. I mean, oh, I guess in fashion all is fair. I never put a Valentino hat on my design, says Virginie. Well, it's not Valentino, darling. Don't worry, Virginie. Headgear McQueen, says Frozen Luxury. Jesus is like, oh, squirt. I've been there, says Lou. I've been there where it got dirty and very messy all over the place. I like it. It's fun. I like it, says Nettie. I like it. It's fun. Okay, well, I'm seeing interesting, like it's a 50-50 on this one. It's a 50-50. So June might just get the job. Well, let's see who's next. Next should be Olivier Rousteing for Balmain, creating a Naomi Campbell with Choupette moment. Choupette being like, cha. Choupette serving Baby Yoda. And Naomi serving, girl, where's the fashion show at? I think I got lost. And Olivier serving, hate to break it to you, Olivier, you're serving Balmain. You're serving Olivier Rousteing for Balmain. So I have a feeling that Olivier kind of didn't get the memo. Olivier's like, ciao, let me do Balmain. And let me just put Choupette there and like call it a day. Yes, I get the collar, the white collar. Okay, but that's not an easy thing to do. Like Karl Lagerfeld, white collar, tall white collar. It's Karl Lagerfeld. Like, okay, really? Is that all you could think of? The rest looks like Balmain meets Dior, maybe because of the jacket being a little bit peplumy, even though those buttons are tacky, like only Balmain can make them that tacky. Sorry, not sorry. But the jacket is giving me slight Dior vibes. That little cape or coat or whatever it is, also that ginormous button. Okay, we got the collar and the little thing. Okay, this is a little bit Karl-esque. And Choupette is, of course, Karl-esque, but the rest is giving me Balmain, Dior, and a little bit Lagerfeld. So, oh my God, Miss Jelly's comment. He's the employee kissing the boots. Jesus says, absolutely not. Choupette is cute, though, says Jesus. I'm just saying. Caleb says, cover it up with the cat. The shade, the shade is flowing in all directions today. Sean, my hair's all over the place too. Gloria says, not fair using the cat. Using the cat makes you like the piece. Well, of course. I mean, they know what they're doing. They manipulate you to like the piece because of Choupette, because Choupette is begging for votes. But forget about Choupette. Okay, like Caleb said, let's cover the cat. Okay. Now what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, now it's like, cha. Caleb is like, nope, still hate it. Meh, Miss Jelly. House of Lee says, it's giving Men's Warehouse. Yeah, very outlet, which technically is what Karl Lagerfeld's brand has become. So maybe it's throwing shade at Karl and saying like, Olivier is saying like, I outlived you, Karl. Your brand is just an outlet now, but I'm the one who's still alive. Fillers and all, allegedly. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of nays. So maybe Olivier is happy to remain at Balmain. Well, the next one is maybe a little bit more fortuitous and lucky. Well, we don't see the full dress, but this is John Galliano for Maison Margiela. I've seen the video, and Galliano is so funny. It's like, this is like such an old technique. It's hilarious. He's like, oh, let me do this special thing where I project polka dots with a slide projector or a video beamer. Let's project it on a white dress. And however the dots land, I'm going to have one of my minions attach a polka dot imitating sticker or whatever it is. And then we're going to apply them all in exactly that shape. Groundbreaking. It's like literally saying floral for spring. Groundbreaking. So, okay, you know, Galliano is living his vibe. I think Galliano kind of lost a little bit of his zhuzh. Because, yeah, is this cute? Sure. Yeah, sure. Johnny, sure, it's cute. But honey, you ain't getting the job at Chanel. Not at Chanel. No. I'm sorry, but the application, let's just say we're not going to shift this application to the top of the list. You know what I mean? I just want to say this might not be top of the list material, okay? I'm sorry, honey boo boo, okay? It's cute, okay? You're cute, but the pearls, broken pearl necklace, we've already seen Vivienne Westwood do this in the 80s and 90s. Like Vivienne Westwood said herself, you know, when they asked her in an interview, what do you think about John Galliano's designs for Dior or anywhere? She said, oh, I love them. What's not to love? They're all mine. So it's a wonderful tribute to Vivienne. Thank you, John. But I think you kind of missed the memo. This has been the audition for Chanel. Okay, sweetie. All right, moving on. I'd work with Vivienne, says Virginie VR. And you know what? You should. I think you could do something really interesting at Vivienne Westwood. I'm not even kidding. Anyway. Giving mushroom patch, says the aspiring minimalist. The House of Louis says, it looks like a knockoff Westwood with the pearls. There you go. Tina says, too common. Galliano to the mail room, says Miss Jelly. As she says, yes, I would like to see the whole dress. Like accents, so I like it, but not Chanel at all. Galliano, I think we are not appointing you as the new Virginie VR. All right, well then. The next one is Chitose or Chitose or Chitose or Chitose or Chitose Abe from Sacai. This is very Chanel and also very Karl. The boots, less so. The boots are giving a residual residue of Balenciaga and Bottega Veneta somehow. But this whole top part with the little collar, the little thing, it's very Chanel and also Karl. This is an interesting blend of both. It is Karl at Chanel. This is like one of those Karl dresses for Chanel, but slightly simpler than how he would do them, you know? This is kind of borderline between haute couture and prêt-à-porter because it's not sophisticated enough to be haute couture Chanel, but it's too sophisticated to be prêt-à-porter. Maybe it's a métier d'art. Maybe it's a métier d'art. Paris goes Carl. Kind of Chanel goes Carl. This is a... Vel says, this is a like, but the boots, no. Debbie says, interesting without the boots. T-Pal says, boots are needed at construction site shoots. Nancy says, I even like the boots. Nina says, the platforms are cool. I like that. Very classic. Blue Bannisters, I'm feeling the boots. Gives it a goth moment. Ollie says, it needs a peak. Deeply Erring says, I like the boots. Gloria says, this is intriguing. Miss A says, I like this one. Sweet Thing says, he's trying. Foodedons, I like it all, even the boots. D says, looks like it was crossbred with a chicken. Johnny says, not sure. Gosh Get a Life says, Black Swan. Shelby says, Ephemeral Fields. Loving H&M says, the House of Louis. Miss Jelly says, the grunge in me loves the butts. Yes, but no says, needs sunglasses. And Virginie VR says, a bit of pearl here, a bit of tweed there. Voila! I've got my next collection. Oh, the simplicity of it all. Platforms are back, says Tina. Caleb says, rooster of the walk, or did you mean chicken of the walk? Jimmy TR says, the boots don't fit the whole outfit. Zane says, D, I see the chicken now. It does give bird vibes, yeah. Pigeon, chicken, yeah, bird. I like the fanning out with the back. An avian moment, says Nettie. Deep Laring says, still don't want her to leave Sacai. D, the photo is what makes the look fantastic. Yeah, to photographer, I would do a bright blue or red heel. I see a turkey, says a Neon Onion. Well, it's because of the wind blowing into the dress. Yeah, it could look like a turkey a little bit. Oh, well. So however, I see more yay than nay. So technically, according to the live chats, this look is a potential applicant that might make it. Interesting. Well, let's see the next one. Pierpaolo Piccioli from Valentino. Pierpaolo Piccioli did the Camellia. Pierpaolo Piccioli did Chanel. Pierpaolo Piccioli also did Chanel Haute Couture by adding all of those delicate feathers poking out of the Camellia petals. But Pierpaolo Piccioli also has a secret hiding underneath the camellias, and that would be Carl's white collar shirt with a little tie. So it's like a Carl dressed up in Chanel. Madame says, now I'm hungry. I want pigeon, chicken, and turkey. Oh, okay, that was before. Blue Bannister says, oh no. Foodedon says no. Johnny says, like it. Deeply Erring is laughing. D says, really? It screams hay fever. Nettie says, well, that's just silly. Juliana says, no. Gloria says, where's the door? Zane says, more Italian than French. Virginie says, oh, poor thing. The camellias are moldy. Jimmy TR says, this isn't it. Yes, but no says, this feels like a quality tribute. Gosh Get a Life says, great as a brooch, not as a jacket. Tina says, only for the runway or on screen. Miss A says, 2 on the nose. I love the shirt, says Oli. Debbie says, yes, tribute outfit. Shelby says, should I put it in a base with water? Remember, Vogue said to these designers, create a tribute outfit. But I see more no than yes. Debbie says, good for the Met Gala. Neon Onion says, leave it to Valentino, tacky. Ingrown hairs, says Miss Jelly. Oh, for the feathers? Oh my God. Heartbreak Hotel says, vote no for me. Nettie says, it's cosplay. Gloria says, someone give the model the cat. Neon Onion says, it's clever though. Shelby says, gotcha. Thumbs up. Nancy says, is it an outfit? Yes. Yeah, it's a camellia jacket. or like a cape to wear on top of the outfit, the mini dress. Winnie says, oh, I want a jacket to make me look puffier. Blue Bannister says her legs are so skinny that the proportions do make them look like flower stems. Ellie B says, I actually liked this one when I watched the video. Caleb says, that's a choice. Well, I guess it's more no than yes. On Pierpaolo Piccioli for Valentino. Interesting. So let's do the next one. Donatella Versace, of course, had to go overboard and create a whole cloud of appliques, embroideries, sequins, crystals, all added to this dress. I mean, this is a Carrie Bradshaw moment, serving... and just like that, season 15, Carrie trying to outdo herself and have an even bigger dress than she had last time. It's beautiful. I mean, is it Carl? Is it Chanel? Or is it Donatella doing Donatella with a good budget, with a big budget? Caleb doesn't hate it. Is it bleeding? Asks Ollie as she says, I love it. So glam for the red carpet. Johnny says, too much, but very nice. When he says, it's a cute prom dress. Virginie says, have I ever cast Kendall in my shows? I don't know her. Yes, you have cast her in your shows. Zane says, it does work better in this setting. Tina says, this has been done. Boring. Deeply Learning says, I can see it. Juliana Santos says, I like it. Yolanda says, I like it. Monarch says, no, I don't see Chanel. It's beautiful, but I don't see Chanel. Shelby says, not quite. Nettie says, not a great photo. I'd like to see more of the detail in the skirt. Didi says, I like this one. Madame says, it's giving Emily in Paris, and that is not good. Gosh, Get Alive says, like a material used for a Dior book bag, not Chanel. Miss Jelly says, it's Donatella. T-Pal says, this dress is giving girth. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. And with that, I'm going to move to the next ones. It's Donatella and it's good, but not Chanel, says Zane. It's interesting, at least as Blue Bannisters. The next one is Christopher John Rogers. So the explanation in the video about this dress was that John Rogers was trying to work on the conceptual, structural interior of Chanel jackets because they're always lined in silk and they have a particular structure. The inside of the jacket is as beautifully structured as the outside of the jacket. And also, he said that they wanted to create all different sorts of nuances of red, Tyrian pink, Tyrian red, beige, rosy, peachy interiors of Chanel jackets and layer them on top of each other to create this leveling of interiors, but on the exterior of the dress, like the dress as a tribute to how crafty and well-crafted the interiors of Chanel jackets are. Now, mind you, Chanel jackets have been well crafted before Carl was on the scene. Coco Chanel crafted her interiors of her jackets very well. She was famous for that. So this is not so much a tribute to Carl as it is to Chanel. And I do believe, oh, my thing is dying, only have 5%. Christopher John Rogers is the one who is more than anybody else here trying very, very hard to, to say like, hey, I know the heritage of Chanel. Because this is not giving me any Karl Lagerfeld. This is giving me complete, like, I'm a geek for Chanel. I know how the interiors of Chanel jackets are made. I know what I'm doing. Hire me, hire me. to me, it's not conceptual enough to be sophisticated enough to be Chanel. You know what I mean? It's more like a student project. Like, let me play with the textures of Chanel jackets. And let me like put something together. You know what I mean? It's giving me that. It's, yeah, Benetton beach towel, says Madame. Louis says, I'm telling you, it's a quinceañera dress. Tina says, the halter dress classic, but really that stripe has no Chanel connection like that. Yeah, student project vibes, nailed it, says Fou de Danse. Yeah, very student project vibes. Especially the little crisscrossy thing here. Oh my God, this is something I always, when I see students do this, I'm always like, oh. And they get all caught up in this pattern making, and it's I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It does give off a student project vibe, says Jimmy. Prom dress, says Miss A. The lines don't even match, says Kev. Yeah, that was done on purpose to create like tension. Again, very conceptual, very student, trying to impress their professors. Cha. Like, okay, honey. Well, that's it, you guys. That was the last look. And I kid you not, I also can't believe that for the first time ever, oh my God, Deeply Airing says, season 1 Project Runway. Oh, good, my job's safe, says Visionie VR. Like, nobody's going to steal your job, Visionie. Well, I can tell you this. No, just no, says Julie Scott. Well, I cannot believe that we have disagreed so much ever like we did today, because I told you I was going to tell you who my favorite is at the end, right? Oh, Emotion Engine says loved all of them. Gloria says I'd say June. So who's going to get the job according to you guys? Who would you pick for the job? Thom Browne, Simone, June, Olivier, John, Chitose, Pierpaolo, Donatella, Christopher. Okay, Debbie liked Simone, Thom Browne, June. Virginie votes Virginie to stay at Chanel. Donatella, Pierpaolo, Deeply Airing liked Pierpaolo. Thom Browne, Valentino, Pierpaolo, Donatella, Christopher John Rogers, Pierpaolo, but everyone hated it, says Anderson. Anderson says, I love Pierpaolo, but everyone else hated it. Thom Browne. Tom, definitely Donatella. And Chitose, Valentino. I vote for Choupette. I like the juxtaposition, the one with the industrial boots. Okay, so nobody's voting for Balmain. Valentino, Thom Browne. So there's a lot of Thom Brownes. Oh, Thom Browne. Donatella, she did care about... Oh yeah, I like Donatella because she didn't care at all, says Louis. Kev says, Hedi Sliman. Vote for the cat, says Jimmy. Well, Johnny says Valentino. So I can tell you this. For 2 reasons, I vote for this person. My vote goes to, and I'm shocked, because no, not that one. Okay. My vote goes to the following person. Yes. Because 2 reasons. One, they did not really care about Carl. They placed Carl interiorly, but the exterior was full-blown Chanel. And 2, because they threw shade at Virginie VR like nobody else. They threw shade at Virginie for the upcoming collection. And the winner is... And I know I always say like, oh my God, an Italian doing Chanel, never. But let me tell you, of all of these people, Pierpaolo Piccioli, or Piccioli, I think it's Piccioli, this is the one. Because the current Chanel collection, you know, that just hit the runway for fall/winter 2023 was the Camellia collection, and it was like like, of all the ideas you could have had to do camellias, Virginie, like, you really didn't deliver. And then Pierpaolo comes and makes the camellia piece. Like, this is how you do a camellia tribute, you know? So he not only threw shade at Karl by making a Chanel piece, he's like, I want the job at Chanel. But he also threw shade at Virginie's latest collection, right? Which is the Camellia Fall Winter 2023, because he made a better camellia, whimsical camellia runway piece than Virginie did. She makes the wearable pieces. He pulled a Karl. Why am I saying this? Because Karl Lagerfeld, if Karl Lagerfeld made a collection at Chanel dedicated to the camellia, you best believe at least one look would have been like this. Maybe a little bit more toned down, but there would have been a whimsical showstopper piece dedicated to the camellia. So Pierpaolo was thinking in that direction. He's like, this is my runway piece, the showstopper at the Camellia Fall Winter 23 collection, thinking the way that Karl would think, like in terms of show-stopping, jaw-dropping moment of a whimsical, you know what I mean? The editorial piece that Virginie never does. He delivered the editorial piece. Virginie says, my camellias weren't moldy. Yes, they were, honey. But okay. Virginie's like, give me Pierpaolo on the phone. So you see what I mean, what he did there? He was so clever because he did a look to criticize Virginie, but also to say if Karl were alive, Karl would have done this for the Camellia collection. You see what he did there? He was trying to signal to Chanel, hey, I can deliver that. I can bring back the spark to Chanel. Now, whether or not we like this, whatever, it doesn't matter if we like or don't like this piece. Who cares? It's the idea that he had in his head, allegedly, right? The conspiracy theory idea that I have, allegedly, that I find really cool. I'm like, oh my God, he is shady. Ellie B says, he understood the assignment. Yeah, he really understood the assignment, in my humble opinion. Neon Onion says, yes, tacky for everyday wear, but this is runway material. And that's the thing. T-Pal says, good psychology analysis and how the game is played. I'm telling you, but now, no matter how good and creative he is, if he doesn't have the right connections at the top of Chanel, he's never going to get the job. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So, that's the bottom line. Ellie B says, and the camellias are made of neoprene, a genius. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Yeah, Pierpaolo Piccioli. Yeah, Debs. Pierpaolo, yeah. Genius, says genius. I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if it's not an everyday look, but it's memorable. It's memorable. It's Chanel. It's what he thinks Karl would think Chanel would be if it were to dedicate to Camellia. And it's current because it's exactly what Virginie Viard did. Fall Winter 2023. Which is not even in stores yet. And he showed this to say, honey, I can do it better in my sleep. Oh, the shade. And we love a shady biatch. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And let me know which one is your winner, if any. And if none of them are present here, which other designer do you think would be great at the helm of Chanel? Subscribe.